Section G9A. Antennas and feed lines. Section G9A. Feed lines. Characteristic impedance and attenuation. Standing wave ratio, SWR. Calculation, measurement, and effects. Antenna feed point matching. Question. Which of the following factors determine the characteristic impedance of a parallel conductor feed line? The correct answer is A. The distance between the centers of the conductors and the radius of the conductors. Question. What is the relationship between high standing wave ratio, SWR, and transmission line loss? The correct answer is B. High SWR increases loss in a lossy transmission line. Question. What is the nominal characteristic impedance of window line, transmission line? The correct answer is D. 450 ohms. Question. What causes reflected power at an antenna's feed point? The correct answer is C. A difference between feed line impedance and antenna feed point impedance. Question. How does the attenuation of coaxial cable change with increasing frequency? The correct answer is B. Attenuation increases. Question. In what units is RF feed line loss usually expressed? The correct answer is D. Decibels per 100 feet. Question. What must be done to prevent standing waves on a feed line connected to an antenna? The correct answer is D. The antenna feed point impedance must be matched to the characteristic impedance of the feed line. Question. If the SWR on an antenna feed line is 5:1, and a matching network at the transmitter end of the feed line is adjusted to present a 1:1 SWR to the transmitter, what is the resulting SWR on the feed line? The correct answer is B. 5:1. Question. What standing wave ratio results from connecting a 50 ohm feed line to a 200 ohm resistive load? The correct answer is A. 4:1. Question. What standing wave ratio results from connecting a 50 ohm feed line to a 10 ohm resistive load? The correct answer is D. 5:1. Question. What is the effect of transmission line loss on SWR measured at the input to the line? The correct answer is A. Higher loss reduces SWR measured at the input to the line. Section G9B. Basic dipole and monopole antennas. Question. What is a characteristic of a random wire HF antenna connected directly to the transmitter? The correct answer is B. Station equipment may carry significant RF current. Question. Which of the following is a common way to adjust the feed point impedance of an elevated quarter wave ground plane vertical antenna to be approximately 50 ohms? The correct answer is B. Slope the radials downward. Question. Which of the following best describes the radiation pattern of a quarter wave ground plane vertical antenna? The correct answer is D. Omnidirectional and azimuth. Question. What is the radiation pattern of a dipole antenna in free space in a plane containing the conductor? The correct answer is A. It is a figure 8 at right angles to the antenna. Question. How does antenna height affect the azimuthal radiation pattern of a horizontal dipole HF antenna at elevation angles higher than about 45 degrees? The correct answer is C. If the antenna is less than 1/2 wavelength high, the azimuthal pattern is almost omnidirectional. Question. Where should the radial wires of a ground-mounted vertical antenna system be placed? The correct answer is C. On the surface or buried a few inches below the ground. Question. How does the feed point impedance of a horizontal 1/2 wave dipole antenna change as the antenna height is reduced to 1/10 wavelength above ground? The correct answer is B. It steadily decreases. Question. How does the feed point impedance of a half-wave dipole change as the feed point is moved from the center toward the ends? The correct answer is A. It steadily increases. Question. Which of the following is an advantage of using a horizontally polarized as compared to a vertically polarized HF antenna? The correct answer is A. Lower ground losses. Question: what is the approximate length for a half-wave dipole antenna cut for 14.250 MHz? The correct answer is D. 33 feet. Question: what is the approximate length for a half-wave dipole antenna cut for 3.550 MHz? The correct answer is C. 132 feet. Section G9C. Directional antennas. Question: which of the following would increase the bandwidth of a Yagi antenna? The correct answer is A. Larger diameter elements. Question: what is the approximate length of the driven element of a Yagi antenna? The correct answer is B. 1/2 wavelength. Question: how do the lengths of a 3-element Yagi reflector and director compare to that of the driven element? The correct answer is A. the reflector is longer and the director is shorter. Question: how does antenna gain in dB compare to gain stated in dBd for the same antenna? The correct answer is B. gain in dB is 2.15 dB higher. Question: what is the primary effect of increasing boom length and adding directors to a Yagi antenna? The correct answer is A. gain increases. Question: what does front-to-back ratio mean in reference to a Yagi antenna? The correct answer is C. the power radiated in the major lobe compared to that in the opposite direction. Question: what is meant by the main lobe of a directive antenna? The correct answer is D. the direction of maximum radiated field strength from the antenna. Question: in free space, how does the gain of two 3-element, horizontally polarized Yagi antennas spaced vertically 1/2 wavelength apart typically compare to the gain of a single 3-element Yagi? The correct answer is B. approximately 3 dB higher. Question: which of the following can be adjusted to optimize forward gain, front-to-back ratio, or SWR bandwidth of a Yagi antenna? The correct answer is D. all these choices are correct. Question: what is a beta or hairpin match? The correct answer is A. a shorted transmission line stub placed at the feed point of a Yagi antenna to provide impedance matching. Section G9D. Specialized antenna types and applications. Question: which of the following antenna types will be most effective as a near vertical incidence skywave (NVS) antenna for short skip communications on 40 meters during the day? The correct answer is A. a horizontal dipole placed between 1/10 and 1/4 wavelength above the ground. Question: what is the feed point impedance of an end-fed half-wave antenna? The correct answer is D. very high. Question: in which direction is the maximum radiation from a VHF/UHF halo antenna? The correct answer is C. omnidirectional in the plane of the halo. Question: what is the primary function of antenna traps? The correct answer is A. to enable multiband operation. Question: what is an advantage of vertically stacking horizontally polarized Yagi antennas? The correct answer is D. it narrows the main lobe in elevation. Question: which of the following is an advantage of a log periodic antenna? The correct answer is A. wide bandwidth. Question: which of the following describes a log periodic antenna? The correct answer is A. element length and spacing vary logarithmically along the boom. Question: how does a screwdriver mobile antenna adjust its feed point impedance? The correct answer is B. by varying the base loading inductance. Question: what is the primary use of a beverage antenna? The correct answer is A. directional receiving for MF and low HF bands. Question: in which direction or directions does an electrically small loop, less than 1/10 wavelength in circumference, have nulls in its radiation pattern? The correct answer is B. broadside to the loop. Question: Which of the following is a disadvantage of multiband antennas? The correct answer is D. They have poor harmonic rejection.